Hi, my name is Nidhi Chanani, and I'm here to share with you how to draw a unicorn. It is probably the thing that I am requested to draw the most when I go and visit schools to talk about my books. So, I wanted to talk about kind of drawing animals just before I start. Animals can be very complicated or very simple. So, I'm going to actually draw two different kinds of unicorns today with you. The first unicorn that I'm going to draw is going to be a little bit simpler, and the second unicorn is going to be a little more complicated. And I'll talk to you and talk through why that is and how you can draw something that's a little more complicated. And so let's start with our simple unicorn. And before I start, I also want to say that horses, which is what a unicorn is based off of course, same body, just the horn is the addition, and magic. But the thing that artists kind of across the board agree on is the hardest things to draw are cars and horses. And so if you find this difficult or you find this challenging, just know even professional artists find this hard and challenging, and avoid kind of jobs and things that require them to draw these things because it is really complicated. So it seems intimidating and it seems hard because it is, but there are always ways to simplify. And that's what kind of the beginning drawing is all about, is how to figure out how do we make this simple, how do we make simple shapes to communicate what we want to draw. So we want to draw a unicorn. So let's start with a simple shape. So we're going to start with the shape of the head. And so I want you to draw on the top part of your paper, but not all the way up the top, a C shape. Kind of like an open circle. Okay. And then off the open circle on the top part, we're going to do an ear. And so if you make a kind of a longer circle, a longer, kind of like an upside down U. There we go. Okay. And then one of the key things about a unicorn and a unicorn body or horse body is they have really long necks. Okay, so we're going to take this bottom part of the ear, and I want you to draw two straight lines down. Not too far down, just a little bit. Okay, so already we have something that looks kind of like a horse's head, right? All right, so then I want you to take this back line and draw a straight line out and stop. And then you're going to curve that line down. Okay, so we have the unicorn's butt. And I want you to not go all the way to the edge of the page because we're going to need space for that unicorn tail. Okay, so take that line. Well, actually, let's wait here. So one of the things that you want to make sure you're doing is you're making sure everything's even, right? So I want to take this front line and bring it, kind of see this imaginary bottom line here, and bring that front line down. Okay, so we have that unicorn body. It's looking pretty good. Okay, that's just a few basic curves and straight lines. It's all just knowing where to put them and where to start and stop. So we're going to do the feet now. So take this bottom line, bring it down, and go and curve it back up. Okay, same here in the front. And you can even kick it out a little bit if you want. Curve it back up. Okay. Now, one of the things about the unicorn and the horse's back leg is the back leg is a little chunkier than the front leg. So instead of just connecting these two, which you could do, I want you to take this back leg and make kind of a C shape here. Okay, it could be small or it could be big, but just go kind of like a C there. Okay? And then between the two legs, I want you to just draw a line. And there we have our unicorn body, okay? Now, if you want to show the back legs here, this is an easy thing to do, is take this same line here, and then you kind of just want to duplicate it or mimic it. So you'll just do another line like that, and there's that second leg. And then you'll just copy the same motion, the same shape here, that C shape, follow it down, and we have 4 legs. All right, so now we have this unicorn, nice big fat head, nice unicorn body, right? But we're missing some key components here. So we want to draw in the tail. So take that top of that butt area, and you want to draw up, curve down, you can go straight down, you can even make it a S shape, however you want to do that tail. I'm just going to take it straight down, it's easy. And then take the end of that tail and draw a curved line up back to the same rear area, and we have the tail, okay? Now, the same thing goes for the unicorns. Generally have a lot of hair, okay? So you're going to want to go somewhere in the middle of that head shape and start a line up and curve it back, and you're going to kind of follow that body shape, okay? And again, you're going to stop and bring it in from a point, and that's a lovely, lovely thick head of hair that our unicorn has, okay? Now, here you want to make your unicorn eye. And we'll just do a very basic, and you want to go, this is a large space for your unicorn face, and you kind of want to go down, so not in the middle, a little bit down and towards the mouth area, because the eye wouldn't be up here, it wouldn't be back here, it'd be in this kind of front area. So we'll do this eye here, okay, and I'm just going to fill that in. Go ahead and fill in your eye. All right, and then I want you to add smile or frown or whatever you want to do. I'm going to go with a smile. Magical unicorns are happy. Okay, and the last but definitely not least part of this unicorn is that horn, right? It's coming out through the hair, so it's just your basic kind of open triangle shape. And then I like to add some lines in this triangle shape. So just some straight lines across. Gives it that unicorn feel. Now, the other thing that you can do once you get some practice in just doing this basic shape is you could also, so I'm going to ruin my unicorn a little bit here. Instead of starting with a C shape, you can also start with kind of a straight down line down and then take it around. I didn't do that here because I didn't want to overcomplicate a simple unicorn. But there you have it. And now that I drew that line, we'll just kind of give this unicorn almost like a racer stripes, okay? And then you can also put in another line here to indicate the inner ear. And then you can have fun with it, and you can color and put in all kinds of fun additional things to this unicorn to add personality and environment. You know, you can do a simple, a couple stars, so we get the idea that the unicorn is in the sky. So I like to explain doing a simple star as a V. You cross that V and keep going. You come down, back around. There's a star, right? Again. Just some stars. Okay? And you can also add some clouds on the bottom here. Unicorn is in the sky. Okay, so there's our unicorn. Now, as I promised, I'm going to do a second unicorn. All right. So the reason I'm going to do a second unicorn is that I wanted to try to show you guys how to do something a little more advanced, but I also wanted to explain how artists like myself do things that kind of seem like magic. And part of that is by using something we call reference. And so a reference is something that you refer to. It's something that you look at to understand how you're going to recreate it. And you can also kind of refer to it as copying, right? So you look at something, you kind of break it down into basic shapes, and then use that to draw your own drawing. And so a lot of artists use this. So I am going to use my own unicorn as reference. So this is a unicorn that I drew a couple years ago. And I'm going to have that right down here so that I can look at it when I feel lost. And so when you want to ask yourself, how do I draw a fox? How do I draw a robot? How do I draw a dinosaur? I don't know what they look like, because now that I'm here in front of the blank page, all of the information that I have, all of the things that I thought I knew about a dinosaur are gone out of my mind. And so that's when I turn to either the computer or images that I have on my phone to understand what those things look like. And so I'm looking down here at this unicorn that I drew so that I have an understanding of what kind of a more sophisticated unicorn looks like. And so here we go. We're going to start our second unicorn, all right? So get out a blank sheet of paper, and then we're going to start with a similar thing. I always start with the face, kind of helps me build the rest of the body. And I'm going to do a pointed, curvy line like that, okay? So it kind of looks like a sideways V with a soft angle. And then, because the horse face, actually, their jaws are very big. So from here, I'm going to loop down like that, okay? And this is also where we're going to put the mouth, okay? And then, and I keep looking down because I'm looking at my reference. And then I'm going to keep that line up and add that ear. Okay? And here, with this neck, we're going to do the similar thing as the simple unicorn. We're going to go neck down. But I'm going to make this a little bit of a fat unicorn, okay? So instead of doing a straight line here, I'm going to do a curved line. Kind of look kind of bigger and thicker, this unicorn. And then from this back line, I'm going to take it out and down, okay, out, curve it down, and we're going to curve this a little bit more in and down, and we're going to do the same thing as we did with the back leg in the first drawing. We're going to go that kind of C shape, okay, and then we're going to go a little bit further in, down, and to not a curved bottom, but a straight bottom. And there's that hoof, okay? Now in the front leg, you're going to want to go from that neck line, take a straight line out. So this is a bent leg of this unicorn. So it automatically becomes a little more complicated. Okay, you're going to take another straight line out, but I want you to go kind of a little bit towards that middle of the body here. Okay? And then we're going to bend that leg. So that straight line is going to end up coming kind of like a V shape or a roof shape. And down, and then you're going to close it again like we did here with a straight line and a hoof. Okay, now because I said we have a little fat unicorn, instead of doing a straight line across from the two legs, we're going to do a little bit lower, and there you see I also eyeballed this. I made sure that when I started this, I was kind of trying to get this to meet the neckline. So it looks like this is one big shape, but then there's the leg in between. So part of, understanding how to draw something like this is really knowing where to start and stop with your straight and curved lines. Good job.
I did it on makeup.
Okay, awesome.
And the second one, green makeup.
Okay, awesome. All right, so we're going to continue drawing and finishing this unicorn. And I want to give it some really fun, awesome hair. So we're going to start like kind of up here and take that curved line and give it some flair. So you're going to go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down with that kind of flamboyant hair. And then for the tail, we're going to make it an S shape, or backwards S, I guess. And then I want you to start right beneath that same line, and then we're going to go up, down, or we're starting from the bottom, but similar here, this kind of jagged, or it kind of looks like teeth, that same teeth we're going to give down here to that tail. So already our unicorn is looking very, very interesting. And same with before, we'll just make that, good job, honey. We'll make that second leg in the back, just mimic the front leg. Again, you just duplicate that line. And then we have our four-legged unicorn, okay? And here we have the mouth already, and I want you to put a line, basically kind of like a almost curved line here for that nostril. And I kind of want to make this unicorn a little happy, and so instead of an open eye, we're just going to have a closed eye, which is almost an unfinished U shape. And then I take that U shape, I duplicate it down, and I go from thin to thick, and I fill it in. And it gives it a lot of depth and character, and you can really feel that that unicorn is just really happy. Same with the ear, we're going to do that inner ear here. And the last thing, but certainly not the least, we're going to add that horn, okay? And so I'm going to take that off of the top of the head, bring it down. And since we have this hairline there, I'm just going to do those lines in the horn shape through that, so it looks like I planned that the whole time. And there we have our little more complicated unicorn. And now that you have that unicorn, you can do, again, lots of fun stuff to add some more interest to the unicorn. You can give this unicorn a saddle, right? And then you can maybe do some pattern work in the saddle. Maybe I'm just adding a flower here really quick. And then you could even pull stuff off of that flower. Okay, you can add lots of fun stuff into this to give it a little more life. And then you can add some more lines into that hair. And you could make this a rainbow unicorn and color those lines all different colors. You could do the same in the tail here. Okay? And the same thing as before, you can add some stars. Now, it took me a while to learn how to do stars without crisscrossing the lines, so don't worry if you can't do this. But you can add the stars and maybe a little moon. Okay? And same, you can do some cloud shapes on the bottom so that unicorn is flying. Okay? And then you can even add some more fun stuff here. If there's a saddle, maybe there's some straps here. And maybe the straps have some fun pom-poms on them. And you can add a lot of personality with very simple things to this unicorn. And so that's our 2 unicorns for today, and I hope that you had a lot of fun creating the unicorns with me. And I just want to reiterate that, it's totally okay to use things like reference. I was looking at this the whole time I was drawing this because I don't draw unicorns all the time. And sometimes I forget and I need to look at something to make sure that I'm getting the shapes right and planning my straight and curved lines where they should be. So I hope you had fun. If you got stuck anywhere or if you made a mistake, know that that's part of learning how to draw. And you don't have to show anybody or share it anyway. You can always just start over. Fresh, clean piece of paper is great, and you can always watch again and try again. And part of getting good at drawing is making a lot of mistakes and trying over and over again. So I will try to post some more videos later, and thanks so much for joining me today. Bye.
Mommy.